everyone, and welcome back to Speak Up Sis Talkshow. This is the place where authors, especially Christian authors, have an opportunity to share the word of their testimony through their written work in order to inspire you to open up your mouth and share yours. I'm your host, Angel Charmaine, and tonight we've got another beautiful, amazing author. Her name is Renisha Pateko. She is one of the authors on Speak Up This Bookshelf. If you are a listener of Speak Up This podcast, and you probably heard her already on Beautiful Ashes. If you haven't, you need to check that out. It's on the YouTube channel. If you are not already subscribed to Speak Up This YouTube, do that right now, like right now. So, Ronisha, welcome to Speak Up This Talk Show, and thank you for joining me in the space. How you doing tonight?
Hey sis, I'm doing great. Thank you again for having me.
You are so very welcome. So, listen, everybody, your girl is wound up tonight. Ronisha has gotten an earful before our time tonight, and we are going to just be laying it all out. So, this is a night you do not want to miss because I'm sure this conversation is going to get all the way live. What you think?
I think so, girl.
So, tonight we're going to talk about Renisha's book entitled The Bag Lady Experience.
Yes.
What's your subtitle on that?
The imperfect woman.
The Imperfect Woman. Oh,
Yes.
wouldn't that be all of us?
Yes, that's everybody. Man and woman, okay?
Yes, yes, imperfect. They got a song. All the perfect people, right? Sit down. Um, So
Um,
I think it's the Walls group. I think it's the Walls group that did.
okay.
So tell us a little bit about the Bag Lady experience. What prompted you to write the book? Well, before we go into that, for those of you who, for those listeners and viewers who've never met you, if you will, please tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll jump right into it.
Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Royneisha Pacheco. I am the bestseller author of the Bag Lady Experience. I'm a master life coach. I'm a confidence coach. Don't like to use the title anymore, life coach, because I feel like I'm different from everybody else. So I'm just Royneisha. But I am a master life coach. Excuse me. I'm an author as well. I am a praise and worship leader. I am the administrator of my church, who is also ran by my parents. So I'm like everybody else. I wear a lot of hats, and I am simply imperfect.
Yeah. And your mom, how many children do you have?
Oh, I have three children.
Three
I have
children.
two girls and one boy. Yes.
Right, right. Okay. And did I see you? Did I see you post your hubby somewhere on Facebook or something?
Yes, I'm a wifey.
I was just gonna say you ain't gonna put the name in there. Put it on in there.
I'm a wifey. Yes.
All right. Make sure that man get his problem.
Yes.
All right, that's what's up. So now let's go ahead and let's jump into this title. What made you decide to write a book? Is this your first book?
This is my first solo project. I actually did an anthology called In Spite of It All with a group of 25 of us, so 24 other women. And that was kind of like my introduction to the whole author world. Do I really want to be a writer? What is it that I really want to do? How do I want to tell my story? So I did that first, and then, you know, as I told you about Beautiful Ashes, it kind of just, I just kind of, it was like a jump off from there. So that's when I just decided, I've been praying about it, been talking to God about it. As many people as I've coached, mentored, everybody pretty much have the same story.
Right.
But the uniqueness of me was that I carried bags, like I said, I love purses. I love me some purses. I have every kind of purse, every brand purse. I love purses. And so, when I was going through my whole divorce, when I was going through my transitions, I had a lot of bags. I always had bags everywhere. And so, one day my mom was joking and she was like, "You like the bag lady, you live in the trunk of your car." And so I pretty much just went with that. And as life went on, I realized that all these purses I carry, they're baggage. Like you kind of know you have like a clutch bag when you wear a certain type of dress and then you just feel like a certain type of way. Or if I wear this type of purse, I'm in this kind of mood. If I wear a hat, like a little pouch or whatever, the different purses you wear, it kind of, it's like it just changes the mood that you in.
Right.
And so, praying, going through what I was going through, I realized that we all got baggage,
Yes.
And so that's what kind of inspired me to write the Bag Lady Experience, because it is an experience. So, that's what led me to write the Bag Lady Experience.
Listen, when we talk about baggage, when you said, I never really thought about it that way in terms of, because you're right, depending on the bag that you choose to wear, you pick a certain bag based on how you're feeling, based on how you want to feel or
Yeah,
whatever. So when you think about that in terms of the baggage, figuratively, that we carry in life, it does alter us. It
yeah,
alters how you feel, how you move, how you deal with people, right? Some of the stuff we carry make us feel um, you know, sexy. Some of it makes us feel angry. Some of it makes us feel intelligent, right?
all right,
Uh,
yeah,
but all of it alters the essence of who we are at some level.
absolutely.
Yeah, I hadn't really looked at it like that. I know, I remember, who was it? Erica Badu made that song "Bag Lady,"
Yeah.
right? You gonna hurt your back.
Yes.
Hurt your back. Did you find that you had some backache?
Oh my God. Backache, headache, heartache, every ache.
So
Yes.
did you begin to heal prior to writing the book, or was the book a part of the healing process for you?
Truthfully, I thought I was already healed, but I really wasn't.
Mm,
Writing, just the journey of birthing something new,
yeah.
it's a journey itself.
Right.
And I believe a lot of times when we're getting ready to birth something, you have those contractions, those hiccups, and then it also opens up wounds that you thought were healed. And you kind of have to relive those things all over again. So this was kind of a hard process for me because things that I thought that no longer bothered me or that I was actually healed from, I had to relive it again so that the stories and the prayers that were in the book was authentic.
Right.
And so even for me to just complete a chapter was a struggle because I was like, Lord, I know telling my story is going to offend family. It's going to hurt some people's feelings. So I had to prepare myself for that. I had to relive those sensitive areas in my life that I thought I actually healed from. And even after it made people treat me a certain way. It broke up some connections and relationships that I had actually, but I still had a story to tell because I believe, like I told everybody in this process, the whole point of creating this anthology was to give power to people's voices.
Right.
People are not going to always agree with your story, but your story, it's your story.
Right.
So that's just pretty much what I had to deal with, just this whole process. But
So
I'm good now. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I said, but that phase is over, so I'm good now. Thank God.
You brought up this an issue that I think many people face when they decide to write memoirs, when they decide to write nonfiction pieces that are based on their individual lives, and that is sort of the line or the boundary between your story and somebody else's story. Um, how did you sort of manage that and sharing your story without infringing upon sharing somebody else's story? Because some people just gonna be mad about your story because they in it.
Yeah.
But how did you handle that in terms of I'm gonna share my story without telling somebody else's story? Or did you even think about it? Was that a concern or an issue for you?
Honestly, I didn't. Like you just get to a certain point to where your freedom and peace is just everything,
Right?
that I just got to a point where I really don't care how you feel, because this is my story. This is where my peace comes. My peace comes from God. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if you're offended, but then if I can't be real and tell my story, then there is no, it's a lie.
Right. I think I heard somebody say, I can't remember who. I just don't want to take credit for this. Um, if you wanted a positive highlight reel in my life, you should have been positive.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to be the boogeyman in the story, maybe you should have been the boogeyman in my life. I don't
Hey.
know.
You got to keep it real. In order for people to be healed, you have to keep it real. And
Yes.
it's just that simple. Yeah.
Did you have people who came along and said, I'm sorry, I didn't know,
No,
or none of that?
no.
Wow. So what?
And I'm pretty sure they knew who they were,
Uh
you
huh.
know. There was no need to tell the name calling,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they knew who they were. But it's okay, because it's not forgiveness. I had to learn forgiveness is not for them, it's for me.
Correct.
So it's okay if people don't apologize. I already got over that phase.
Got you.
So I used to care. I did used to care. It did used to bother me. And that was what I carried. Those was one of the things that I carried. But I don't care, because my validation comes from God. And it took me some time to get to that place to even say those words. But
Right.
it's my story. You don't have to like it. It's my story.
Most definitely. How
Yeah.
has the book been received from people who don't know you, from regular people who pick up your book and read it? How has it been received?
It's funny, but I've talked to more people that I don't know
Hmm.
than the people that I do know. And maybe that's a good thing. I think it's a great thing. But I've got a lot of feedback, saying, thank you for the prayer, or thank you for the transparency. Because I noticed a lot of times people be lying. That's just as simple. That's just as simple as I can just keeping it real.
Uh-huh.
People lie all the time. They want to tell you the good part about the story, or the end of the story, but they don't want to tell you the whole story.
Right.
And so, I got a lot of feedback to say thank you for keeping it real. My story is just like yours, or how did you get? I've made a lot of friends. Like, I made a lot of friends who are genuine, like who are not afraid to say, I dealt with the same thing, but how did you get through this day? Or, how did you deal with this or that? And it just, I created friendships with people, and it's some businesses as well, opportunities, but I've got a lot of positive feedback from people who I would have never even imagined.
Wow.
So that was a blessing.
So when we talk about bags, right? And you think about your favorite bag because you like bags, just regular bags, literally.
Yeah.
I'm not really a bag lady in that respect. I have like
Yeah.
I take everywhere until it get raggedy, right?
Yeah.
But I do have bags, and sometimes you have one that's your favorite. It's the most comfortable. It's like it go with everything. If you wear brown, it go with brown. If you wear black,
Yeah.
black, whatever, whatever. And it is hard, even when you know, like I really need to get rid of this and get a new bag. It's just hard to part with it. Thinking about bags in that respect, what is a figurative bag that you talk about in the book that was sort of your your comfort bag?
Yeah.
But unlike those cute, pretty bags,
Yeah.
they enhance this, these figurative bags. The tracks, right? What was what's the one piece of luggage that you had in the book that was the most difficult
Yeah.
for you to let go?
I would have to say, it was my Dooney and Birch briefcase.
Okay,
And the reason why that one was because in the previous interview, I told you about how it was so important for me to go to college. Like, that was everything. So for me, it's my briefcase because I always carry my briefcase around. And the reason why I do is because I do a lot of things. And so my success was everything. So in the book, I talked about you have the woman that carries a Dooney and Birch briefcase. That was me. I was an overachiever.
got
I always wanted to, I had to do the best. Like everything I did, I had to be the best at doing it. And it was because of my own rejections in my life, not being good enough, or, why this person didn't want to be here, why my mom could I have been a child, or just my own things that I was carrying. I had to be the best at everything. So
right,
it took me like 7 years just to get an associate's degree,
right,
but I still got it. I got two of them. And
right,
so my briefcase was just like, man, like I am just totally an overachiever. Success was very important to me. And so just recently, I let it go because I realized that, but like, why get all these degrees in education? I am all for it. I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong, but God has something greater for me to do. So I just recently, I had to put it down and let it go because my life is just turning another way. I had to let that go. Like, girl, I'm up here trying to get a doctorate degree, okay? But I have to let it go. And that was like very sentimental to me
right.
because of, everything that I had experienced, but I had to let it. I got me another one now, but it's not the same one. But my purpose and point of this one is totally different.
Right. Do you think it's possible to not have any bags?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. Because I think that different seasons of our lives, we're always carrying something. How you carry it now, it makes a difference. So I think that we will always have baggage. Because if it's not a bag, then you'll just put it in something else.
Ah,
Like in the book, I talked about my introduction of the book was, how you be driving and then you downtown at a stoplight and you stop real quick and you look at a lady, she got a shopper cart with a whole bunch of junk in it.
uh-huh.
And just like for 2 seconds, your whole life just stopped. And you just go like in a whole daze, like, why she this? Why she that? Who is she? And you never thought to ask, who is this lady? What is her story? What's her name? You've already prejudged this lady, not knowing anything about her.
Right.
And so it was at that point that God, like, just ding, right in front of me. And I was like, oh my God, I literally learned so much just from stopping at a stoplight, looking and judging somebody. People do that to us every day, not considering her life, her past, what is actually in this cart. So it don't necessarily have to be purses. It could be a shopping cart.
Yes.
You're just carrying this junk around everywhere that you go.
Girl, I'm a container. I don't do projects, but as a teacher,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
teacher,
Yeah.
they call them the little the green shopping bags, right? You can bring your own. Them teacher bags, girl. Every year you get a teacher bag. You get a teacher bag. You get
Yeah.
containers. Everywhere I go, I got containers like all over my desk. Stuff in
Yeah.
stuff. That is still. But here's the thing. I agree with you. I don't think that we ever get to a place where we aren't carrying something. But I like what you said. Is it a lot of times it's about how you carry it, right? It's whether or not you selected the proper container to carry this thing in, right? Are you carrying diapers and wipes in your briefcase? Sometimes that we have to carry, but you got in the wrong type of thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I feel you on that. I love analogies. I do. And so the idea of the bag lady and likening that to the stuff that we carry in life, all of the issues and concerns and all those things. I like it. So I would like to talk a little bit about, because you just said you don't think that it's possible to like not have any of this stuff. So let's talk about how those things like either strengthen you or not. Do you think that maybe some of these um, issues, do they make us weaker? Do you think they strengthen us? How do you think that fits in
Um,
everyday life?
well, in the book I talked about the different bags that people carry. Some people carry, I said nickel bags, because a lot of people do drugs, they carry bags. It's the type of bags. Why am I, for people that's on drugs, what's the deal? What seed was planted that's causing you to carry this baggage? Some people carry booty bags, promiscuous women. Some people carry punching bags,
What's a booty
pure
bag?
abusive.
What's the booty
A
bag?
booty bag?
Spend a night
You
bag?
know the bag. You know the bag that you got in your trunk when you going to do what you do, or you going to stay the night.
The night
Promiscuous
bag.
people, booty bags. Okay, we keeping it real, right? Those are called booty bags. Them overnight bags. They carry those too.
Girl, I never heard it called a booty bag.
That's those are booty bags. Okay.
Okay. Hey, listen, I saw somebody uh, advertising them spend the night bags with all the stuff in it that you need when you spend the night. Y'all just need to know them booty bags. Let them go, let them go, let them go.
Those are booty bags. Yes.
Goodness. Okay, so what are some other types of bags we can read about in your book?
Okay, I talked about punching bags. I talked about, you got the typical garbage bags. I really don't talk about garbage bags because we all carry junk.
Yeah.
But I think in the book, I talked a little bit about, to me, those are gossipers. They carry a lot of mess. They talk a lot of trash.
Yeah.
Everywhere they go, it's just always mess. It's messy. It's funky. It's stank,
Yeah.
and that can affect people because it gets in your spirit. So I talked about, people with, I talked about people with garbage bags, but those were my main ones, was the booty bag, the nickel bag, the briefcases, and the punching bags. Oh, and then my last one I talked about was a diaper bag.
Right.
And those are for people who dealt with, yeah, girl, you did say that about the wipes and the diapers.
Mhm.
That was about for women that dealt with abortions,
Oh yeah.
because that's real, or miscarriages. That one situation can linger on year after year after year. And that's a seed that's planted. And sometimes that is the fault of why we are the people that we are. So that was another type of bad that I mentioned in the book as well.
So some of those sound like they would actually um they may be some of those things that would be considered ashes that actually make you beautiful along the way, right? That
Yes.
strengthen your character and who you are. And some of those things clearly are not strengths that you know. But I guess at the end of the day, even if you're the nickel bag person, once you're healed, once you put that away, having carried that could definitely be um, considered a strength in what you do afterwards.
because it's all a part of our story.
Right.
You know, how can I minister to you, or how can I relate to you and you relate to me if it's you know what I'm saying, you never experienced that. Like me, you can talk to me, show compassion all day, but if you have not experienced and walked in my shoes, I probably really don't want to hear from you, because I believe it comes a time where people learn how to overcome certain situations. But the problem that I have, and that's why I don't go by the term life coach or anything anymore, because we show you how to do it, but who's actually teaching you how to stick with it, how
Mm,
to continue, you know what I'm saying, progressing, how to continue and prosper, how to be that wife, be that mom, be
right.
that worker, be that whatever. Nobody's teaching that.
Exactly.
And so I believe only a person that have walked in my shoes can honestly, they're the ones that I need to talk to,
Yes.
because you don't all the time want to hear scripture. You don't all the time want to hear prayer. You want to hear somebody that say, girl, I done been through that, been there, done that. This, I felt, I did it again and again and again and again and again. But this is what I did, and this is how I was able to overcome. And so can you. People need that. That's what they want to hear, you know.
Often
So
with this, same here. I've had several people to, connect with me and talk about coaching, and I'm like, you, I have an aversion to the term itself.
yeah.
Um, I'm not saying there isn't a place for it. I'm just saying it's not my place. So
Yeah.
I totally get that. I actually consider myself to be a life strategist or a life consultant because of exactly what you said. I'm an expert in some things. I can hold your hand,
Yeah.
and I can see ahead of the thing and help walk you through it. Like,
Right.
yeah, teach you how to do some things, what not to do, show you how to do some things. Sit there and help you while you work it out. Right? Coaches, what are your goals? All right, this is you go boom, boom, boom. No. Some
Exactly.
need you to hold their hand and walk them through the process until they don't need you to hold their hand and walk
Yes.
the process anymore, right? I just feel like sometimes we need to get our hands a little dirty with people, um, not be so hands off. Um, but
Yep.
that's
I
just
agree.
me. I'm not saying that's the right way. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm rocking with you, sis, on that one. So check it out. Believe it or not, girl, we had 30 minutes. Can you even believe it? It's like we just got
Wow. Yeah.
it's just like we just got started. What is it? What is the major takeaway from the bag lady experience that you want people to know? Like, you get this book, this is your takeaway.
My takeaway from this would be to be perfectly imperfect. Be yourself. Okay. This is your story. This is your life. Your validation comes from God. It does not come from anything or anybody else. You be the best you that you can be, and you will always be a work in progress. Never feel as though your situation is too big, is too small, and never ever think that you're so deep in to where God cannot clean you up, He cannot fix you, and that you are too broken, you're too abused, you're uneducated, or none of the above. You are somebody because God says you're somebody. Yes, absolutely. And that's the
And
end.
I'm not putting nothing on the end of that because I think that's it. So this is what I would like to put on the end of this. You can find Renisha Pacheco's book, The Bag Lady Experience, on Speak Up Sis bookshelf. You can see the link scrolling at the bottom, speakupsis.com/bookshelf. It is on the anthology section of the bookshelf. If you just click on the little book next to the word anthology, it'll open up and you will see the Bag Lady Experience right there. Go grab a copy. It's gonna bless your soul. If you've already read it, grab a copy for somebody else and bless somebody else's soul. I appreciate you, sis, for coming into the space, for sharing you, your story, the book. Before we go, I would like for you to share the other work that you do and to give everybody some contact information, share your social media handles and all that good stuff so people can connect with you if they would like to.
Okay, you guys can reach me at Facebook, Renisha Pacheco, and you also can go on my website, which is under construction right now, but I can still take your message because I am in the process of starting a mentorship program in mid-August. Yay! Gotta keep going. All right. It's called Bijou, and the whole mentorship program is about recalibrating your crown. So that's in mid-August. So my website is, it's in a process of getting everything situated for that. But other than that, that's how you guys can reach me. Facebook is the best way to reach me. I'm always on Facebook all the time. So I hope to talk to you guys soon.
That's what's up. We need you to come on into the Instagram world too, you know.
Oh yeah, girl. I know.
When you
I'm
ready,
working on it. I'm working on it.
when you're ready, when the Lord says so, Instagram is right for the word. Okay,
Yeah.
they need it. So, um, yeah, I'll look forward to you breaking into that space really soon. I bless God. So listen, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for Speak Up Sis Talk Show tonight. Every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if the Lord says so. We are in this space, and I share with you a new author, especially a Christian author. This is that place where believers have an opportunity to share their written work in order to inspire you to open up your mouth and share your story. We will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Oh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot. This month is my birthday month.
Yay!
And so all month long, Speak Up Sis Talk Show and Speak Up Sis Podcast, the podcast happens Monday nights at 8 p.m. The talk show, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. You have an opportunity to win cash prizes and um, non-cash prizes. All right. So tonight, I told everyone that the very first prize. Let me see, where is it? What did I do with it? The very first prize for tonight is a sentimental prize, and you know what? Ain't this put your life together? I think it's just right here. Okay, here it is. So the winner for tonight. Let's see. How are we going to get us a winner tonight? How are we going to get us a winner tonight? What we want them to do. Renisha, I'm gonna let you. How are we going to get us a winner?
Let's see who can name one of the bags we talked about tonight.
Okay, all right. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm not sure who's watching or not. I'm not seeing comments. Sidebar: this is actually our first night of going live totally on YouTube. So I'm sure that our Facebook people are like, where are they? Because we gotta get them to move. Like,
Yeah.
come on over here. So even if you're not live, if you are catching this in the replay and you can answer that question, if you can tell us, no, ooh, which bag was the hardest bag for Renisha
That's a good one.
to go of?
That's a good one.
Okay, tell us
That's
in the comments which bag was the most difficult bag for Renisha to let go of. And if you do that, you are going to get a copy of Speak with Chic, One Woman, 10 Truths. And this book is special because it is now on Walmart.com. And I purchased the first copy, first book, on first world platform, right? And so it's got a little little sentimental value, I'm going to sign it and I'm going to give it to you as a birthday gift to you for my birthday month. All right. So the winner for tonight get a copy of Secret Sheets, One Woman, 10 Truths. If you can put in the comments the bag that was the most difficult for Renisha to get rid of, and she actually said the entire name of the bag. So you got to give us that.
Yes.
All right. And with that, everybody, y'all have a good night. Please make sure to join us here every Monday and Wednesday night in the month of June for opportunities to win. On Monday, we're going to have our first cash prize. It's a $50 cash prize. That one, you're going to have to be live and in living color to get it. So if you want an opportunity to win the $50 cash prize on Monday, you got to show up in the space at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can get updates every time we show up in the space. Sis, I love you with the love of Jesus. We are tied, connected. See you again in some other spaces really soon.
All right. Love you, sis. Have a good night.
You too. Bye, everyone.